Okay, so, I was going to share this morning, but then I just went to Costco for like 3 hours. So, and I'm actually glad when I came back I saw a couple of fellow content creators do what I was planning on doing anyway, which was going on a little bit of a rant today. My rant's going to be a little different, okay? And just stay with me for the ride, and you'll understand why once this video's over. Okay, but it's this is what happens when you have content creators who a lot of us think the same way. We're all following the same team. We see things with our eyes. Okay, Yankee fans are passionate people. We wear our emotions on our sleeves, and we're happy when they win. We're disappointed and upset when they lose, right? And sometimes we're even pissed off. But I want to make sure I'm pissed off at the right people. So I can only speak for myself. Okay, but I'm also going to call out Boone, Cashman. It's the Yankees offense. And I'm going to call out people who come onto my channel and give me bullshit arguments. Bullshit attacks. Yeah, I'm going to be a little unfiltered today, so get ready for it. A little uncensored, okay? Give me bullshit, and then I go out and I question them and ask them, is this your opinion? Is this your own? Or is this somebody else's? And what do? I get other people's tweets in the messages. I get all other people's tweets either on Twitter or the same four pathetic arguments. Fire Boone, fire Cashman, get rid of IKF, Cole's not an ace. Get real, okay, with those arguments. They are not credible, especially if they're not your own, and you can't elaborate when I question you. I'm going to pound you if that's the case, and I can't take you seriously, okay, if you can't do that. That's why I want to have elevated conversation and content on this channel, so we can have these types of discussions. But we go to the same convenient default that other people do because they want to hear themselves talk or whatever. It's not going to serve you well. It's not going to serve the purposes here, okay? It's pointless arguing with each other over stupid bullshit. It really is. And it's a waste of my time. It's a waste of yours too. So I want to point that out right now. And again, if people don't like it, that's totally fine. But that's how I roll here. I don't care how other people roll. I roll that way here, okay? And I'm going to make that really clear right now. And again, I'm going to be a little bit more opinionated now when I need to be, more frequently. So be ready for it, especially if I keep getting stuff like this, okay? Now, I'm not calling out everybody. Obviously, people can agree with me or disagree with me as they please. I'm not going to block you here. It's freedom of speech, and we know that. Okay? You're not going to get blocked for having a difference of opinion, but make sure, please, that your opinion is your own. Don't peddle somebody else's cherry-picked stuff on my channel as your comments and expect to not be pounded on it. Not going to happen, dude. Not going to happen. Okay? Now, let's get into the subject of the day. Okay? A couple different things, okay? We'll start with last night, Aaron Boone's press conference, post-game. Okay? After a 3-2 loss, which was a very winnable game, in a very winnable series, which they lost 2-1 after they split a series with the Oakland A's. On this West Coast trip, they were 3-4. I think they could have been 5-2, but there's no point in arguing about it now. It's in the past. They were 3-4. Nothing we could do about it that can change the past. We have to figure out what to do in the future here and how to help make this team better. And again, everybody has the right to vent in their own way. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So, but the minute it turns into stupid bullshit on this channel, I'm coming after you. Okay? Period. So, while I can appreciate Aaron Boone's wanting to defend his players, right? He did something that rubs me the wrong way. And you guys and gals know how I feel about people using cherry-picked pieces of analytics to attack players. Well, I don't like it when they're defending players and using the same baloney on the other side. Okay? It's not enough on either argument. It's not credible. It's not. Okay? So, and to me, he did that last night, saying, IKF is one, and this is about IKF, okay? Because IKF made a significant error. So did Josh Johnson in the same inning. And basically, the defense abandoned Garrett Cole, and then he might have been a little bit up here, which he needs to fix too. But he gave up a 3-run home run to Shohei Ohtani to put the Yankees up, to put the Angels up 3-2. Now, I'll elaborate on that in a second too. Okay, 2 earned runs, not 3. Now he went 7 innings and gave up 2 earned runs. That, as far as we've been talking about for over a year, is a quality start. 7 innings at 3 runs is considered a quality start in baseball metrics. Okay, but for some reason, so many Yankee fans don't think it's a quality start when the team loses, but they're doing it when they win. It's a quality start one way or the other. And he did exactly that. Far too many times this year and other years, he's given quality starts to have the bullpen shit the bed or the defense shit the bed. Now, obviously, he's got to get he put out people a little bit better. But again, this was Shohei Ohtani, last year's MVP, and this year's one of the front runners for the MVP. And he didn't give up a home run to Mike Ford or Luis Rengifo. He gave it up to Shohei Ohtani. Okay, so a credible hitter, a very elite hitter. So okay, but that said, it was a 3-2 game, and 3 runs is not an insurmountable a number for this offense to overcome. Okay. Okay, and the fact is, too, so many of us had no problem when the offense was healthy and hitting and bashing people left and right in the first half of the season. Now there have been some injuries, and it's completely changed, and the personnel is mostly the same. But now, all of a sudden, the default answers, the comfortable answers come out, right? Fire Boone, fire Cashman, all this stuff. Well, let's get into these, too, because to me, it's a clown show, okay? Let's start with the fire Boone, okay. He's not the best mouthpiece all the time, okay, but there's only so much he can do also. And the question I have for you is, would Torrey or Joe Girardi have the Yankees at 80 wins or 90 wins right now? No, they would not. In the same situation? No, they would not. So let's stop living in fantasy land. Let's get real, okay? It is what it is, okay? Even Joe Madden, like, a lot of folks are saying, let's get rid of Boone and replace him with Girardi and Joe Madden. Come on. That's your best argument? This is what you have? To Girardi's defense, he did win a ring as a manager with the Yankees in 2009, so I'll give him that. But 2 things I want to point out. He had the core 4 behind him on the field every day, and he had the benefit of one of the best free agent signing classes in history. CeCe, Burnett, Teixeira, Nick Swisher, Damaso Marte. They had everybody to go along with the core 4. Boone has neither. Okay, and the Yankees made some moves. They're making different types of moves than they were back in the day, since Hal's taken over, okay? And the fact is, Hal's a ghost. He should be out talking on occasion. So should Cashman. And I'll get to that too. But right now, this is the type of roster that Boone has to work with. And again, it's clear he doesn't have all the personnel decisions and all this stuff. He has a lot of analytics in his ear and a lot of Brian Cashman in his ear. So there's only so much he can do. So while I understand the fire Boone comments, but doing it on a regular basis without being able to back it up with any credible replacement, again, can't take you seriously. Okay? That's not a solution. Saying it without giving a solution, that's not a solution. Now moving over to Cashman. I understand the same frustration. I've been frustrated with Boone and Cashman. I've showed it repeatedly on the channel. And again, I'm going to say this. Let me make this really clear, because people tend to try to put words in my mouth on this one. Just because I don't incessantly bash players or bash Boone or bash Cashman does not mean I'm on their bandwagon, okay? And I'll say it again. Just because I don't trash these people on a regular basis does not mean I'm on their bandwagon. Like I've said, and like you know, I do both sides here. I give people credit when it's due and criticism when it's due, when I feel it's justified. Both ways, to everybody. Equal standard for everybody. No special treatment on this channel. I don't ass worship people, okay? And you'll know that. So, just saying that. Now, let's go to Cashman. Did he have the greatest offseason? No. Did he have the greatest trade deadline? No. But that said, let's stop assuming he can do whatever he wants anytime he wants, because he can't. Okay, that's pretty obvious. With Hal running this team a hell of a lot different than his dad ran the team. Okay, so he can't just go out and get out whoever he wants and whatever he wants. And the fact is, we were told so many times the Yankees would be a last-place team or fourth-place team without Carlos Correa or Freddie Freeman. Has that happened yet? No. What's Carlos Correa doing? He's not playing like a $35 million a year player right now, and that's what he got. So the Yankees may have dodged a bullet there. Okay? And people can use all the slugging and the home runs. You can obsess about those metrics. IKF was not traded here for his slugging, for his home runs. He was traded here to get on base. And the fact is, I would rather take him putting the ball in play and even getting out than somebody like Josh Donaldson or Gleyber Torres swinging at stuff that's 6 feet out of the plate. Or pimp walking pop-ups that they think are home runs that are not home runs. Or bullshit bat flips, which rubs me the wrong way, just like Luke Voigt did when he used to do the beer thing when he hit a home run after the Yankees were down by 10 runs. Like your home run means anything right now. You're still down by 9. Okay? That to me is dog shit. Okay? So, with that stuff in mind, I have a question for you too. Would the core 4 have won, okay, in 96, 98, 99, 2000, And let's leave 96 away, because that's a different era. Would they have won the championship in 98, 99, and 2000, and even 2009 without all the players that Cashman brought in to complement them? The CCs, the Teixeiras, the Scott Brocious, the David Wells, the Roger Clements, the Homer Bush, the Mookie Day, the David Cohns, the El Duques. Would they have won those championships without these guys? The David Justices? I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay? Think about it and give me your feedback in the comments, okay? So, while people love to trash Cashman, and I get these ridiculous, he's a bottom 5 GM. They can't even name the 4 below him. Like, get out of here with this stupidity, okay? And I love when people point out, too, that, well, Boston's won 4 World Series since 2004, and the Yankees have only won 1. Yeah, they've had 4 different GMs, too. 4. Look it up. Not 1 GM going head-to-head with Cashman. 4 GMs, different coaches, philosophies. The Yankees have had Cashman and just Cashman alone. Okay, with a couple different managers. So, got to point that out too. It's important. And again, who is going to replace him that's available and interested is the question. I ask people this too. I get nothing. I get fired Cashman. He's terrible. I get a couple people who will mention Theo Epstein, which I think would probably be the only credible replacement for him. But that said, he's an MLB executive. I highly doubt he's going to take a step backwards to become a Yankees GM, a Yankees president, without being a part owner of this team. Just like I don't think Derek Jeter would do that without getting a part ownership of this team either. So, say what you want, but I find it hard to believe that any of that would happen. So, as far as I'm concerned, Cashman's not going anywhere, and it sounds like he's already agreed to an extension. And I think they know that because he does what they want, whether it be lapdogging or making them as much money as possible. Whatever they do, whether we agree with it or not, he's doing what Hal is making Hal happy, right? And the owner's happy. So, until that changes, what is the point of us fighting about it? Okay, let's be pissed off at the Yankees and not each other. Let's try to come up with constructive criticism. Really. Now, I'm going to go back to IKF for a second because I want to add him to Cole. Okay? Like I said, Cole threw a good game last night, just like he threw a great game against the A's. Okay? One bad pitch does not make an outing bad. Okay? And Cole and IKF are not the problem. The offense is. This is obvious. It's not really too difficult to decipher. The offense has been shit in the bed for almost 2 months now. And again, when they were healthy in the beginning of the season, they were feeding off each other. It was great, right? They were just knocking the crap out of everybody. Now they've had injuries from Stanton to Carpenter to a lot of other guys. They've had issues, and the offense hasn't been complete. And you could see the difference. We could see the difference now with Michael King being gone. And there's like 10 guys on the IL on the pitching side. So we have boatloads of dudes on the DL. So when the Yankees were healthy, they were absolutely dominant. And who put that team together? Brian Cashman. Okay? Not Gene Michael. So, got to give him credit for that. But again, I got to criticize him for not answering direct questions. Not being forthright enough. But again, how much do you think he's going to tell us? We're not going to be in the inside people. We're not going to be in his inside. There's nobody who makes these channels up that has his insights people there who knows more than everybody else. Nobody does. Is going to get intel from him. So let's stop fantasizing about that too. Okay? We go by the information that we're fed by everybody else and the beat writers and everybody else. And on occasion we get a tidbit from Boone and on a rare occasion and Cashman. And that's what we have to go on. But the offense, if you watch the games, you take it off, you watch the games, you see, is the problem. The biggest problem, I should say. Okay? Yeah. You know, and what if I was Boone, I would have said, you know, and like I said, I don't like when people use cherry pick metrics. And he said IKF is one of the best defensive shortstops in baseball last night as part of his argument. Now, if it were me, I would have said the one thing I'm talking about when I say that is he's got 12 defensive runs saved. Okay? And that's 4th best in all of baseball. So he makes great plays, but he has a lot of trouble with routine plays. Like the routine stuff that he botched last night. Those are the things that he should be catching. He can leap and do all this crazy stuff, makes these acrobatic plays, but he has trouble with routine stuff. That's not throwing him under the bus. That's calling out a reality. Okay? And we need to work on that. Okay? just like these other guys. You know, and we keep hearing now, and then when it comes to IKF, Oswald Peraza. He takes home runs, right? Every single day by a couple of handpicked people. Now, let me tell you, Oswaldo Cabrera had very similar stats to Oswald Peraza in the major leagues, right? In minors, in AAA. They have not translated up to the majors. How many home runs does he have? None. So there's no guarantee in the world that Oswald Peraza is going to come up here and knock the cover off the ball and turn into Roy Hobbs. Okay, so let's stop fantasizing about that too. And if you're going to bring him up here and replace Torres, not IKF. I'd rather have a guy in here with average production that hustles and tries to make up for his mistakes than someone else who's more talented but less focused. And that's Torres. Any day of the week. I don't give a shit if Torres had 38 home runs 5 years ago. So what? Hasn't happened since. Hasn't even come close. You're always slugging. What's the point of using the slugging metric of the OPS when we know IKF was not here for his slugging and his power? That's why we have the other big bats who need to heat up too. Okay? It's all-encompassing offense thing. And the same thing with the pitching, okay? And I'll give credit one thing. I'll give credit to Cole for this one thing. In terms of edge and fire on this team, Cole is the only one who displays it on a regular basis. The only one. And for that reason alone, I would appoint him captain. Not only his performance, okay? I would not appoint Judge captain. Okay, his performance, yeah, I would pay him like an elite player. No doubt about it. 100%. Like he deserves to be played. But he does not display that same edge that Cole does. And Cole is pissed off. He wanted to kill IKF and Donaldson last night. He wanted to strangle them. That's the type of fire and edge I want to see. That's what we used to see in Paul O'Neill, Darryl Strawberry, Tino, all those guys. They hated losing. And Cole hates making mistakes, and he hates losing. Okay? Can't blame him. Can't blame him. He even acknowledged it. He made the worst pitch, and he was pissed at himself. So did IKF. I had to give him credit, too, because he botched a routine play last night, and he owned up to it. When's the last time we started with Donaldson or when Sanchez when he was here, right? Or Torres? Never. We don't see it. I don't care about flashy bat throws and pimp walks and all this stuff if you're not productive. Torres hasn't been productive in 2 months. That's why if you're going to call Peraza, you replace him, not IKF. He'll make IKF better, Peraza. Torres has not. It's the point of the team, too. You make your teammates better, right? Well, there's an argument for that in my book. So, that's what I wanted to go over today. I want to know your insights. Give me your feedback in the comments. But like I said, I'm not pulling punches anymore. I'm going to start being a lot more aggressive with this type of stuff. But again, I'm not just going to go on tangents and rants for the sake of going on rants, especially if it's the same rant every single time. It's baloney. It's boring. Okay, I'm going to call it out when I feel it's justified, and I'm going to be very precise with the areas I want to talk about. Okay, so you folks let me know what you think. I'll see you later on. Actually, we have the day off today. Okay, there's no game. But if they expand the roster today and you get news, or if I get news, you're going to get it too. Love you, gang. Over and out.